Good. Let's respond to the president. First of all, if he's sitting home watching TV, maybe he should get up and go to work, right? If he didn't really believe 2,500 beds was necessary, I don't believe the federal government would have helped build 2,500 beds. And the number came from a projection from him. Coronavirus White House Task Force, that's you, White House, that's you. They're your projections, Mr. President. So, were we foolish for relying on your projections, Mr. President? Okay, shouldn't have relied on your projections. Second, I have said a number of times, I don't know, what am I supposed to do, send a bouquet of flowers? He said 11 times, I don't want to get involved in testing. It's too complicated, it's too hard. I know it's too complicated and it's too hard. That's why we need you to help. The only thing he's doing, let's be honest, well, it's up to the states to do reopen. By the way, it was always up to the states. What are you going to grant me what the Constitution gave me before you were born? It's called the 10th Amendment. I didn't need the President of the United States to tell me that I'm governor. And I didn't need the President of the United States to tell me the powers of a state. And I don't need the President of the United States to read the Constitution for me. Maybe he should have read the Constitution before he said he had the power to open the states, where he did a very graceful 180, and many people allowed him to do the graceful 180. And you don't want to help on testing, which is a national problem and replicates the same chaos that you created with medical supplies because FEMA wasn't ready. By the way, I needed a stockpile. Where was your stockpile? 10,000 ventilators for the nation? That was your stockpile? Thank you again, Mr. President, for the Javits. Thank you for the U.S. Navy ship Comfort, which, by the way, is just doing your job as president. It's not really thank you like you wrote a check yourself, but thank you.
After he announced the May 1st reopening of
No, he didn't announce anything. He said it's up to the states. That's what he said. And then he says, there's a 50-piece puzzle. Oh, no. That's called the map of the United States. It's not a puzzle. And those lines are called states. Remember, the way this whole thing starts, the colonies create the federal government, not the other way around. So, introduction to constitutional theory and policy. We're trying to coordinate with our neighboring states. Western states are coordinating. Middle states are coordinating. All he's doing is walking in front of the parade. Two things. Help on testing, because states can't do that. And I don't want to redo the mayhem of the PPE debacle. Second point, we need funding to do it. And the way you love talking about how you funded everything, big businesses are all getting bailed out, airlines are getting bailed out, bail out, all with taxpayers' money. State governments, which are the only ones who are doing this whole reopening, they're going to need funding. And well, show gratitude. How many times do you want me to say thank you? But I'm saying thank you for doing your job. This was your role as president, okay? You want me to say thank you? Thank you for doing your job in helping build Javits and sending the U.S. Navy ship Comfort. Thank you for participating in a modicum of federal responsibility in a national crisis, which you know is a national crisis because he declared a federal emergency. So thank you for having the federal government participate in a federal emergency. And thank you for help building Javits, 2,500 beds, pursuant to your projection. And if you don't agree with your projection, fire the head of the CDC, fire the White House Coronavirus Task Force people, because they did the projections. March 13th, the CDC, let's say their low number, 2.4 to 21, which is a hell of a differential, right? Either 2.4 or 10 times 2.4. Thank you for that great projection. But anyway, that's why we built 2,500 beds at Javits, because we listened to you, Mr. President. And if we were foolish for listening to you, then shame on us. But read your own report next time before you criticize it.